Welcome to Comedy by Indie Drop-In. Each week we feature an episode from the best independent creators. Hit subscribe for more great comedy content. If you would like to support Indie Drop-In and get these episodes ad-free, check out our Patreon at the bottom of the show notes. Today's episode is from Doing It Wrong. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to subscribe and follow on social media. Enjoy the show.
Begin.
Aloha, this is Darcy.
And aloha from Rainy.
Aloha means hello and goodbye, and there is no better greeting for our New Year's Eve episode, where we say goodbye to 2019 and hello to 2020.
This episode, we're going to take you through the trials, tribulations, and ultimately sheer confusion of our respective New Year's Eves. Then we're going to talk about resolutions and what we want to leave behind in 2019.
We recorded this episode on January 1st and 2nd, but it's now April, and some things didn't age well.
At one point, Darcy said, I think 2020 is going to be a great year.
So yeah, my tarot cards were wrong, clearly, and I put the wrong crystals into my bath.
And after getting through the Australian fires, an orbiting asteroid, and the disappearance of our only hope for a female presidential candidate, we are now knee-deep in a global pandemic.
So a disclosure before we begin the episode. How did our New Year's Eve nights hold up?
So, the most important thing I've done throughout this quarantine is watch the iconic film, He's Just Not That Into You. And as usual, Jennifer Aniston, Bradley Cooper, and Scarlett Johansson have helped me with important emotional work, such as realizing that my New Year's Eve love interest was actually and unfortunately not that into me. This realization is never easy to digest, but I'm sure as you listen to the episode, you'll be able to quickly pinpoint the signs that I blissfully ignored. Did I eventually ask him about his ex-girlfriend when I found out that he talked to her regularly? Yes. And he circumvented my questions and concerns with the grace of that iguana escaping the snakes in the Planet Earth video. And as Snoop Dogg says about the iguana in his voiceover, he's very well trained in escape tactics. Clean getaway. So I kept talking to him until it eventually fizzled out, and I returned to the drawing board empty-handed.
So, do I regret my iconic, singular, aesthetically confusing George Michael earring? No. Do I regret my asymmetrical facial accoutrement? Are you crazy? No. Was I a female Paul Revere reincarnated? Jury is out. In 2020 hindsight, double entendre there, I do indeed feel like my behavior was classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty. Was it rational? Who's counting? Have I relapsed over this guy and been baited and subsequently disappointed again? Briefly. Did I sign him up for a Scientology newsletter? No. Comment. But the battle continues, my friends. Never give up. Winners don't quit on themselves. That's a Beyonce quote.
And how are your resolutions coming along? Actually, we'll save that for the end. For now, welcome to 2020 for the gals.
I did this thing in high school where I would if I liked somebody, I really didn't want them to know that I liked them. So I kind of push them away. It was very counterproductive. Right. Maybe because I have a foot fetish also, but just kidding, folks. Just kidding. We started talking again, my graduation day. And then the poetry writes itself, honey. Back. Yeah, so Rainey opened the door and she was wearing a straight summer outfit. Wait, it is honestly the 1st of January, and I was I'm wallowing in just deep sadness, hungover, and something just came to an end in my life that was
It's the first breakup.
Bad for me. So yeah, Rainey opened the door and I was like, oh, so you're definitely wearing shorts, a crop top, and a crop jacket. And I was just oh, is there a summer party going on? It is 20 degrees. It was amazing. So that's where I'm starting right now, and I'm just kind of inspired by the fact that you are just trying to outsmart the seasons.
Yeah, I'm actually boycotting winter. I don't
by letting it affect you more.
Right, by wearing fewer clothes all the time and therefore being freezing all the time.
Winter as an institution.
Winter.
Anti-establishment winter.
Yeah.
Boycott her. Do you think winter's a her?
I always kind of pictured it as a man.
Why? because I think summer is a girl, obviously. Spring is kind of like a high school boy who has like a little too much energy.
Is spring intersex?
Sorry. And then
high school boy with too much energy?
Yeah, like who like
Ew. Get them out of my face. Get them out of my face.
Then winter, I feel like, is like an older man who's like hates his job, but
like Robert Frosty
works 90 hours. Well, I think that association is just the frost in winter. I don't know what Robert Frost looks like. Can't speak to it.
Yeah, I haven't met him personally either, but I mean, we've been in contact. Yeah, I slid into Robert Frost's DMs like 3 weeks ago.
Has he seen it, not responded?
Yeah, definitely.
It was like the checkmark scene.
Yeah, and I was like,
that's tough for you.
Literary hero. You actual literary hero. I love you. No, but I think that like Robert Frost is just like some old crotchety poet, and like it's not like I've looked him up. Wait, is Robert Frost? Wait, what the fuck? Is that a poem or a person? It's a person. I'm sorry.
It's definitely a person. Definitely a person.
I'm being such a bad English major.
Wait, I have to tell you what happened on New Year's Eve.
Amazing. Okay, we're gonna do a full rundown, and then I think we're gonna do like resolution or fuck it, stupid. But like we should just like think about those things. And I think I'm feeling like 2020 is actually gonna be a big year.
You do?
Kinda.
What do you expect?
I mean, it's just kind of like the beginning of a new decade.
Yeah, the new
like
decade
fresh,
thing is
fresh,
kind of
fresh,
stressing
fresh.
me out, actually. It's just too much. I'm just like, I feel like there's a lot of pressure.
Pourquoi?
I don't even know. It's just, I'm kind of like
these are the 20s.
Yeah.
These are the 20s,
the
baby.
roaring 20s.
These are the 20s, baby. Wait, that was wrong. That was like the 70s.
Wait,
I was trying to scat.
Or the 50s?
Oh,
you were scatting?
Yeah, I actually just became Ella Fitzgerald's for a second, but you missed it. Anyway, okay, so how about you just launch into this New Year's Eve story?
Yeah, okay. So, I don't even, like, where to begin. At some point, I was like, I'm gonna have to roast you on my podcast tomorrow. And he was like...
And you were like, hey, bitch.
Yeah, but he was like, can you use a pseudonym? And I was like, yeah, of course. I wasn't gonna say your name. What do you want your pseudonym to be? And he was like, I don't know, maybe Mason. And I was like, that is a horrible pseudonym.
Oh, like you do masonry? Like you make walls? Like you use cement to make walls and you're a mason?
I was like, is your last name Jar? And he was like, what?
That's funny.
Thank you.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, I said it. I don't think he
fucking
understood.
dweeb.
Yeah. So, it's New Year's Eve. We started talking again. Like, we started Snapchatting on the daily in May. My graduation day. And then...
The poetry writes itself, honey. I love that. I love, like, the day when, like, things start on days.
Oh, yeah.
And end on days.
So we were talking for a long time. I thought that it was, like, pretty clear what the end game was by, like, December. Like, month 7, I was like, okay. Because also he was, like, in D.C. and he was in Vietnam, and I was here the whole time.
And I was tending to my really interesting and extravagant life here. Like, there's a lot of things that I was doing. I honestly am just like, don't shame people for not going on trips to Southeast Asia. Okay? Like, first of all, it's been done before. The elephants, done before. Okay? The pants, the elephant, whatever pants.
The elephant pants, yeah.
Done before.
Cliche.
Do it. But like if you don't do it, also that's good.
I agree.
It's not
concur.
Deep, but
so then he came back in like December, and it was kind of like will they, won't they? I was kind of like, what's taking so long? But New Year's Eve, and I'm like texting him, making plans, and then
okay, but like friend, you guys haven't hooked up until this point.
No.
And are you interested in? You don't really know what you want the nature of the relationship to be.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're just like, I have liked you for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay. I just need to do this for my 17-year-old self, 16.
Don't forget her.
Don't
Never forget her.
So, New Year's Eve, I was wearing these, like, ridiculous pants that, they're cool, actually. I kind of like them, but they're, like, crazy. And then, because I have...
do you want to describe the pants more? Or no?
Okay, so they're denim, light denim. They have, like, these
these like pinstripes, white and red.
Whoa.
They're kind of light stripes. Like you kind of have to like squint to see them.
Okay.
And then they're not like they're not close. They're kind of like
tight.
they span and then they do the bell bottom a little bit.
I
just
love.
a little bit. Yeah, they're pretty cool pants actually. But
okay, great. Yes.
they're really hard to have a shirt with them. You
To style, yeah.
Yeah, because they're like pretty funky. So I was like, my little sister, I called her in for her consulting. I was
Darling.
like, what do you wear with this? And she was like, the yellow shirt. And her yellow shirt is like, it's so low cut.
Does she have the taeta, or does she have bigger boobs than you do?
Oh, her boobs are huge. It's honestly disrespectful to my
Whoa.
boobs, which are, I'm like co-counsel of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee.
And you're like, I feel attacked.
Yeah. I'm like, who gave you those jeans? But I was thinking of you and how you were like, if you can't see my nipple, I'm not interested in this shirt.
Did I say that? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm an icon. Okay. When did I say that? And why didn't I record it?
It was in the summer.
Okay.
It was actually, you were wearing like this like thick cardigan in the summer with no shirt underneath, no bra. And that's when you said and it was like 110 degrees.
Was this my yellow cashmere sweater with the pearl buttons?
Yes.
Yeah.
You would button like one button.
And don't it taste good? And don't it taste good? Okay. I have pulled men from miles using that fucking 50s housewife cardigan with the no bra, one pearl buttoned.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I might start doing that if you...
Yeah, I think people are like, wait, what is going on here? There's so many conflicting messages. They're like, I feel like you should have, like, be pouring me tea, but also I really want to, like, it's, yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
This is
actually
such
love
a
that.
yeah. You should try it. It's a strategy. It's kind of like building a narrative through clothing, building like a sexual fantasy through clothing, but not in a way that's just like overtly like slutty and like
Yeah.
really surface level, because we don't
love
do that.
that.
We
Yeah.
like narrativize the outfit and make sure that there's like levels
There's
and nuance.
like layers of historical
Reference. Yeah, exactly. Like if there's not like it has to be a minimum of one reference to like the suffragettes and what they've done for us, and if not, I will not put it on my body. I will not put it on my body. Yes. So continue.
Yeah, so I get there and then like his parents are there. Like, so, we're pre-gaming at Mason's house, and his parents are, like, there, and I was like, I don't even know if I can take my coat off in this shirt. Because they're conservative. They're, like, pretty conservative.
Conservative.
They have, like, kind of military family energy.
Tipo? Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
That's a specific brand of conservative.
But they're kind of, like, really cool, also. It's very disorienting, actually. I don't really have a handle on, like, who they are.
Oh, yeah, that would be rattling.
Yeah, they're, like, really socially suave. Is that how you say that word?
Yes. I love that phrase.
Yeah.
So
and like when I came in, like the mom was just like sitting in her chair and she was like, "Oh, hello, Rainy." It was like she was like, "You look great," and I was like, "That is all I needed from
jacket
this
on or
night."
off. Jacket on or off.
Jacket on. Jacket on. But makeup done.
Okay.
Also, I don't think
she
she'd
didn't
seen me in
the
like
shirt.
2 years.
She hadn't seen the shirt. Oh, okay.
So I was like introducing my glow up from 2 years ago, which wasn't that dramatic, but
what up? I love like non-dramatic glow ups. So you're like, I just look a little bit better today than I did yesterday, so I'm gonna consider this a glow up.
Yeah, I like actually put on makeup, and I haven't done that, and like I had to take it out of my DOP kit from when I went on a trip 2 months ago. Pretty much like I just feel like having the mom of the guy you're interested in compliment you on how you look is like pinnacle serotonin.
Such a W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I can go home. Like that was all I needed, honestly.
I'm just gonna call it a year. I'm just gonna wrap this one up.
But then these
maternal
three girls rolled
affirmation.
up.
Yeah. Okay.
These three girls come and they're like super cool and fun. And I was like, okay. Didn't know them. They're like,
Who is this squatty squad?
yeah, they're so fun. But one of those girls was like, have you ever had a New Year's kiss? Mason was like, I had one last year, but I'm not going to have one this year unless you kiss me, Hannah. And I was like, whoa, wait.
Oh.
Should I leave? Like, so we go to this bar, then somebody like literally pours beer on top of my head. Like just so much. And I was just like, what? So then I had to go to the bathroom.
That's the worst.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Were you having a good hair day or bad hair day?
Good hair day. Good hair day.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, it really just got on my face. It actually didn't get on my hair, but it was like,
oh, and you're like, I put
full
on makeup.
face. Yeah, I put on makeup. So I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Just like disappear. So Mason texts me and is like, where are you? And then I made a joke about like, I was like, I have to like wash this beer off my face. And then he was like, at home or here? Or like, are you going home? And I was like, yeah, LOL. Only my home sink can do this job or something like that. And then I came back and he was like, oh, I thought you went home. And I was like, what?
You're like, were you not going to like fight for me to stay out?
Yeah.
When people don't fight for me, it's hard.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, no, I can't expect that.
Yeah. Exactly. So, okay, so then now it's 11:50. So we do the countdown. And then at midnight, he kisses me on the cheek. And then he kisses the other girl on the cheek. And I was like, what? And then I was just like, wait, what? To him. And then I kissed him. And then we started like hooking up after that, kind of like in the bar.
This is the most confusing series of events. Did he not know?
That's what I was confused about.
Like, did he actually not know that you were interested? Like, you guys have been talking for what, 7 months?
Yeah. And we're at a New Year's Eve bar.
Oh my God, this is like whack as hell. Okay. That... Oh, and then you were like,
and I don't really want to be the one to make the first move in case it's like I'm reading it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Like, he invited me over to his when his parents weren't home for a drink, so I'm kind of like, was I misreading that?
Like, some boys are just like, I think really, really, really scared to make the first move. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like what I've been learning is that, like, men are just, like, generally cowards. They're super cowardly, and I think they, like, worry about a lot of stuff and, like, are not able to articulate it. And, like, also I think, like, rejection or not, that's, like, a very intimidating thought.
Then we go to this, like, other lame punch bowl social. I was like, well, who the fuck took us here?
Yeah, I mean, Punch Bowl Social Club, like, let me tell you about that for a second. Like, what I'm going to say is that I went to probably a 10th grade birthday party.
Right,
there.
that's exactly what I associate with Punch Bowl Social. It's like 8th to 9th grade.
Yeah, like, oh, this is cool. Like, it's like up and coming, like little social, like, you can do like bowling, but you can get like soda because you can't drink it. And it has like a cool interior and it feels like hipster and edgy.
Yeah.
When really you're just like, oh, we're just bowling.
Yeah.
We're just like bowling and doing the same bullshit. But
yeah.
So you went there?
Yeah.
Was it packed? Did you have to get a ticket to go there?
No, it wasn't packed. It was like half empty. It's so confusing. This whole situation is confusing. Another thing that was really weird and honestly probably a red flag was apparently, I think he invited his ex-girlfriend.
He invited her out, but she didn't come?
Yeah. I was like, whoa, did you invite her? That's weird. Like, then we're really not on the same page here.
So do you think are you just gonna be like, hey, I just want to like check in? Like, are we on the same page here?
I think I probably should. Honestly, because I don't think it has to be a big deal.
You're right.
Because, like, they broke up a while ago, and it's just kind of like, are you thinking about her still? Like, are you trying to invite her to... Yeah, I don't know. Do you think I should?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be too dramatic or too demanding, you know?
I know, but the annoying part is I think we've, like... I was talking to some of my college friends, and at one point I was like, this is before that I had experienced the situation that I just went through, but I was like, the chill girl is actually decidedly anti-feminist. Like, playing the chill girl.
Whoa.
Like, the chill girl as a concept.
I love that.
Anti-feminist.
Yeah.
Because, like, for some reason we convince ourselves that, like, being chill is...
And, like, really, like, being like, oh, you're gonna...
Like, it doesn't matter, like, whatever
you want.
Like, is super desirable.
Yeah.
But actually, it's funny that you said dramatic and, like, demanding.
Yeah.
It's like, I just don't think it's too demanding to, like, want clarification.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think it's being dramatic to be like, I just want to know what your intentions are here. And if they're not the same, then let me move on.
Yeah.
Or we can continue being friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Have you. But I'm so sick of, like, chill can be part of your personality puzzle. My friend's mama has this company called Person Puzzle, and it's about finding the pieces of yourself.
That's cute.
Yeah, but I don't know a girl who does not get sucked into that.
Yeah,
the chill girl trope,
because
that being an important thing to be.
I've lost relationships based on being like,
oh, where are we? That question. That
Yes.
question
Yes.
makes or breaks it.
Yes.
But my mom was like, the answer is there. And then if you ask the question, you just get the answer as opposed to not knowing the answer.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, so much easier. Because then it's like, am I just going to be like single until I find like a respectful man?
Yeah. wait. Yes, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But I mean, that doesn't mean you can't have like fun sex. I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, it's like how it just like so depends on your relationship with that and how it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my friends has a lot of casual fun sex, and I think it was good for a while. But then she was like, "Oh, this is a mechanism I use to find validation, and it actually just is not making me feel that good about myself." And she was like, yeah, I think I keep, like, hooking up with people and, like, expecting them to fall in love with me in a night. And then she was like, yeah, I think I just, like, can't keep expecting that. I was like, yeah, because generally, like, if you go home with someone that you don't really know, like, it's sort of, like, a contract of, okay, this is a casual thing. We're not going to speak after this.
Yeah.
To me, those intentions are pretty clear. So, yeah, but all of that is to say that some people can do it. And like be happy, but like having a lot of meaningless sex also can be sad.
It's confusing. Yeah, it's sad. It's like Let's Talk About Sex by Salt and Pepper. That's the point of their song. Is like she can get with anybody, but she doesn't have love.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, I don't know that song.
You don't know Let's Talk About Sex by Salt and Pepper?
No,
yes, you do.
Is that Let's Talk About Sex? Baby?
Yeah.
That's Salt and Pepper.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I just know their iconic hits. Push It, which is really near and dear to my heart.
I love the song Push It. Love that song. Reminds me of Glee 8th grade.
Yeah, I remember when that came out, and I was like,
well, I don't think I'd heard the original, so I was like, this fucking bangs.
I mean, that was
like,
the magic of Glee.
Yeah.
That they actually made, like kind of curated the music taste for an entire generation, and they were like, these are songs you need to know.
Yeah, and I was like, thanks, Glee.
This like semi-good television a cappella club is going to do them for you, and then you will find your soul in 80s and 90s hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they really gave us that gift.
Yeah.
And to that, I'm forever thankful.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I forgot
Mr.
his
Schuster.
name. Oh, yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Rosy Clench, rose-colored lip balm that helps you fucking clench the interview every time.
Rosy Clench, or the big RC as I like to call it, is one of the silkiest luxury lip softeners on the market, and the crazy clinical proven benefit is that it makes any interviewer fall in love with you instantly. I love science.
Rosy Clench. Clench the interview and then clench your dreams.
And we're back.
We're back.
In a different basement.
So this is day 2 of recording. So the first half of this episode was recorded on January 1st. Second half, January 2nd.
Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about mine. So, New Year's, 2020.
Yeah.
Let's do a little night to recap. Okay, this is my thing with New Year's. I'm kind of like, I think like people stress about the anticipation. My boss at work today was like, yeah, it's the most disappointing like night of the year, or disappointing night and day of the year.
It is.
Because people are suddenly like, oh my god, this is the
culturally,
night. Socially mandated fun night out.
Yeah.
And then, like, whenever you, like, really, really want or need a night to be fun, it's not going to be fun.
Right.
You know?
And it's in the middle, in between December and January. Like, if it were in the summer, it would be a little easier to have fun.
Yeah, can you imagine if a new year came in during the summer?
That'd be fun.
So fun.
That would be so, and your outfits would be unlimited.
Outfits would be insane. It would just be, like, so much joy and, like, new beginnings. But it'd be warm outside, and you could stay out all night with your friends.
It's
like,
kind of conflicting having
dancing.
a new beginning in the middle of everything being dead.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Or I'm not really primed for rebirth right now. I'm not really primed for, like, a personal renaissance.
Yeah. No, you could be, like, dancing, sweating. Ooh, I almost
diving
lost my
into
coat.
pools.
Diving into pools on the New Year.
Right. Just, like, water
Being
has this,
with
like,
life.
very, like rebirth. And, I mean, there's a lot of, like, religious innuendo that we could like associate with, like, we need to go there. And so I started off at my friend's house. I was like feeling super down and sad, and I was like, you know what, let me put on this outfit.
Ooh, what did you wear?
I wore that fake Gucci scarf that I wore to New Year's Eve party. I wore that as a shirt. I wore that
as
How did you do that? Was it like a halter or was it like a tube top?
Oh, scarf top. Just like tie it. You have to do like the triangle down there.
What are you talking about?
So I wore a fake Gucci scarf top, which had this like explosion of floral prints on it, and then it had like this navy border. I was wearing it with vintage Ann Taylor black jeans, straight leg. Then I had some black vintage Ralph Lauren resold snakeskin boots. And then I was wearing like kind of like a scarf choker.
Ooh,
that I had
scarves on scarves.
Right, that I had
scarves
like
reassembled.
Scarves
reassembled.
Yes, and that I had cut from another scarf that I really liked, and it's like a pale blue color, and then layered on top of like these really delicate necklaces I had. Then I wore my one George Michael cross dagger earring that was black. Like, was I doing a lot? Yeah. And then I wore like 7 pins in my hair. I like did a slick back bun, and then I did 4 bobby pins on one side, 3 on the other.
Ooh, you gotta get the asymmetrical.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, like everyone's face is asymmetrical. Just lean into it. You ain't perfect, baby. Lean into it. So yeah, and I think some people were like, and there's that moment where you see someone wearing one dangly earring, and you're like, did you lose one? And then you're like, oh no.
It was purposeful.
Intentionality.
Yeah, it's like when you're making like a short film and like it's totally fucked up, but then you just present it as if it was on purpose.
Yep. Been there, done that. Yeah, and been like, this is actually art. Mistakes are art. Like life is just full of mistakes, and it's art.
That's really deep.
And then I was wearing this long vintage coat that used to be my grandfather's.
Ooh.
Blue. Deep navy blue.
Yeah.
Almost floor length. Wool.
Oh, I love that. I was also wearing a floor length coat.
Then my friend, so I go to this pregame, I'm like kind of just like bummed out. I'm obviously incredibly late. And I get there, and my friend's like, yeah, we're going to my brother's apartment where another pregame is happening. And I was like, okay. Walk in there, no one. We're supposed to take off our shoes. I don't. And then,
like, this is New Year's Eve. Are you really messing up my outfit in this way?
Yeah, it's actually just don't insult me in that way. Like, and I was seeing like so many like no-show socks on the floor, and I was like,
this is American for you.
I was like, I cannot
be followed the rules.
I cannot be on this vibe of the no-show socks. And then I leave with my friend to go to this club that we hear that everyone's at. We obviously have not purchased tickets. We're like trying to scheme. We're like, we're just gonna show up there and see like what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I really have no plan. I'm also bad at finessing. Like,
I'm the worst liar of all time.
Yeah, and then we show up and we're like, hey, so we inquired earlier with a manager about designated driver tickets. We didn't even know were a thing. I didn't even know people like called and were like, because we're not drinking, we're designated drivers, we still want to come party, but we're not going to drink. So we do have discounted tickets.
Whow.
Crazy.
Who came up with that idea?
No idea. Probably someone who was like, how do I get a cheaper ticket? But still, and like lie.
Yeah.
And they were like, who did you talk to? And my friend was like, just look up the manager.
Beforehand or like in the moment?
No, kind of beforehand, but I hadn't yeah, I was like taking a long time, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Then I was like furiously on my phone, like trying to find who the manager was, and then she was like, yeah, I'm sorry, you have to have like a ticket to come in here. And so then we kind of like go outside. We're like trying to figure out what to do. We're like, do we leave? Do we not? Mm-hmm. And then my friend Soto does this epic thing. Someone is coming out. She grabs this person's hand, which has a stamp on it. She presses her hand against theirs, gets a stamp, grabs my hand, presses her hand against mine. Now we both have stamps.
Whoa! That is mythical.
I know.
That is like from a spy movie.
It was crazy.
That is cool.
And meanwhile, I'm standing there like, like mouth open. I'm like Michael from Mary Poppins, and she's like, close your mouth, don't look like a codfish. And I'm just like staying there like and Soto's just like in full action mode. Like I feel like I'm in a James Bond film briefly.
Yeah.
And then this is the kicker. We go around, there's like a little back patio way. We just like go through the gate leading up to, because people are like coming out through the back way of the back patio. We walk up the stairs. There's obviously like a bouncer, like a guy there. And then we were like, can we get in this way? And he was like, oh, no, sorry. Like, you have to go around, through the front where we just were. And then Sojo was like, but what if we were already in? And we, like, flash our hands. And he's like, oh, yeah, totally fine.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, we just kind of, like, and I was like, yes, I got my New Year's kiss. And I got some nice compliments. And I saw some people with a lot of skeletons from the past. But it's like, okay, I'm outie. I'm going to see my friend who's in her 30s who loves to party. I'm going to see her and her husband. Actually. No, she's actually the shit. She is my ride or die. Yeah, she's awesome. She has 2 kids and is like, she's a lover of dance and jubilation. Late night jubilation. So, yeah, definitely she's just someone I want on my team.
Yeah. I love friends over 30.
Yeah.
As a 22-year-old, like, friends over 30, I'm like, that's honestly all I want.
She rocks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have an adult friend. This is really special. Yeah, so I danced briefly with her, like, and we're just, like, kind of, like, scheming, like, do we go to this house, or do we not go to this house, where I definitely know I'm going to see the person that I said that I wasn't going to see anymore.
The day before.
The literal day before. And she's like, yeah, let's go. I was like, oh, yeah, let's definitely go. And I was like dancing and doing my thing, like pulling some of those dance moves out of the hat, in like a casual way though.
Yeah. Because you're not like performing on a stage that you created.
I mean, it was fully a performance, but I had to make it
look natural,
organic, organic. I'm like, this is just a Whole Foods eggplant. It's organic. And so and then I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave and not say goodbye. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave and not say goodbye. And then I had this incredible exit where like my long coat was like draped off of my shoulders.
You're just truly in an American Girl novel, like the Revolutionary War.
I was like, call me Paul Revere. But so I felt very powerful in that moment, and it was also hard. That's what I did.
What time did you leave?
My friends called the Uber, and I was like, oh,
I gotta go.
Destiny calls.
Oh, GG.
And the rest of this evening will not be spent here.
So what time was this? What time in the morning?
2:30.
2:30? And did you just go home?
I went to my friend's apartment, and then I passed out on the couch.
Nice.
Yeah,
your friend has an apartment?
Julia.
She's older.
Yeah. 8 year older.
She's in an apartment?
Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, I need to go look at some listings. Just see what
you
kind of real estate.
It's okay. We're in no position financially to support ourselves. So it was sort of like I went through like all these phases of my. Well, it actually was just like 2 phases. It was like high school and then college. Well, actually, high school and then post college.
I love when worlds collide, and you're like, it's kind of disorienting. Actually, it's kind of like that episode where like the Sweet Life on Deck of Wizards of Waverly Place with Hannah Montana. Do you remember that episode?
Ooh, too much. Yeah.
That's how I feel when my high school friends meet my college friends. I'm like, whoa.
You're like, London Tipton, what are you doing here?
Like, the screen can't handle this much star power.
Right, but I think in my mind I was like, look how far my wingspan is. Do with that metaphor what you will, but look how far my wingspan is. Then I woke up and obviously was really sad. So that was my New Year's, and I think my takeaway from that is expectations can ruin things. A lot of things.
Yeah.
But especially nights.
Oh.
So like go into the night with low expectations and then be like, wow, I had a great time. And I was kind of like, and that's the New Year's, I was like so terrified of what might happen. And then I was like, oh, hold up.
Yeah.
This was good.
Yeah.
This was good and successful. And I actually, like, during the night, as I left, I was like, yes. And then in the morning, I was like, obviously sad, but
I feel like it's like you got.
That was the come down.
It was the come down. I mean, also just being hungover on 5 hours of sleep is, like, never that fun.
Right. Yeah, it's just, like, kind of tough on the mental.
Yeah, but I feel like also it's, like, usually when you have so many expectations and concerns, it's, like, it's usually not going to be the extreme in either direction, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I think that brings us to, are there goals? Yeah, like, what is 2020? Do you have,
My main goal
priorities?
is to, like, be on time.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's, like, small, but and hard.
Yeah, it actually has been my resolution / goal every year for the last, like, 10 years.
Oh, okay.
But we're really serious about it this year.
I mean, I also struggle from chronic tardiness. So, I see and hear you.
What about you? What's your goal?
I think we should go to Tardies Anonymous.
I honestly, does that exist? Because I need that.
No,
like,
I made it up right now.
I would be late to that, though.
I know, but that's actually such a fun idea for a sketch. Like, actually having Tardies Anonymous and, like, knowing, like, people just, like, the room being empty for, like, half an hour during the meeting time. People would just start trickling in. And then they would have, like, a call-in for, like, every time someone showed up late and be like, hi, Craig. Like, you're 45 minutes late. And then, like, Craig would sit down. So it's just, like, acknowledgement but not shaming necessarily. Because, like, you're all complicit.
Yeah, well, you know, at my high school, it was, like, the first period was an assembly. So the whole school was there, and if you were late, you had to be like, I apologize to the community for being late. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that. Yeah. but in a real life situation where, like, I did do a lot of times. It is added. My thing is, like, I actually don't know how long 5 minutes is. I think 5 minutes is such a long time. And it's not.
Right, it actually is about how you conceptualize time.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to get deep, but...
Time is a social construct.
Not to get metaphysical, but...
Wait, so what's your goal?
I got dinner with my friend the other day, and she was like, my goal is to not to rely on anyone emotionally. Like, I think mostly she was talking about romantic stuff, but just, like, not...
That's a good,
dependent and not having other people have power over the way she's feeling.
Yeah.
Which is so hard, but yeah. I think it's like...
It's like, in high school, I started to take group projects, just, like, individual projects, and if anybody helped me out, I'd be like, fuck yeah, like, thank you. That's awesome, you know? But I would just expect to do it all myself.
Right.
I kind of feel like that's how life is, where you, like, you have to expect to do it all yourself, but if somebody helps you out, you're like, all right.
Yeah, like, this is a bonus.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, like, that was her, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck with that. I think my goal is to keeping up, like, staying in better touch with my friends. I think I want to do a thing where I go to the gym and then, like, have, like, a half an hour in my day where I just, like, call someone, anyone. Like, it can be one of my close friends, or it can just be someone that I'm like, I'm thinking about this person. Let me see what they're up to.
Yeah.
Give them a call. If they answer, if they don't, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I made that call. And I think it's just gonna, like, fill me up. And I think sometimes I get anxious about, like, people not being keyed into people, or, like, feeling like I'm neglecting our friendship, or that they're neglecting our friendship.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you want to leave behind? Oh, so this was another part of my New Year's Eve, was when I went over to my Socially Suave. Yeah, she was like, we're doing a little writing assignment. And so, yeah, we just wrote down, like, what you want to leave behind and what you are hoping for. And then you put it in this paper bag, and apparently they burned it.
So what did you...
But I was there for that. You're like, hoping, what if they didn't burn it?
You're hoping not to be late, and you're wanting to leave behind being late?
Yeah, I actually forgot to do that. I forgot to write that down. I think I put, like, anxiety and, like, uncertainty.
Leave behind.
Yeah, and, like...
And then what you're hoping for?
I think, like, purpose... I don't even know. I'm trying to think of, like... Because I know what it is, but it's, like, this, like, energy of, like... It's not that I don't have it, but, like, necessarily, but, like, waking up and being, like, urgency. It's, like, this, like, just, like, yes. Life. Like, I'm just, like... There's so many things I want to do. I'm so excited to do everything. Like,
lust for life.
Yeah, lust
motivation.
For life. Yeah. I don't know if I wrote that down. But
I want that also. Wouldn't that be amazing to wake up and be like, I'm so excited to get out of bed today?
Yeah.
I just don't even have enough time in my day to do everything.
Yeah, I feel like I did that kind of in college sometimes. I would wake up. Well, that was partially, like, excitement and partially just, like, anxiety. Like, just, like, I have so much to do.
I feel like I did that in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think about how motivated I was in high school. I'm like, where is she?
where did she go?
Yeah.
I need her back. Like, I was the routine of high school, I just, like, would thrive.
Mm-hmm.
College was, like, more unstructured time, and that was harder for me.
Yeah, I'm not really that good at unstructured time. But, so, what would you want to leave behind?
Like, self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of, like, want to do with reckless abandon, kind of.
1, 2, 3.
Of course, in 2020 hindsight, copyright Darcy Newwriter in the beginning of this podcast, it's obvious that Mason Jar and I were not on the same page. But in the moment, with all the mixed signals and projections and confusion inherent with New Year's Eve, it's harder to tell. And in such an ambiguous situation, sometimes you have to make small leaps of faith and see how they work out. It's like the book I didn't read, Designing Your Life, which I'm pretty sure is about trying things with the information you have. It might not be the right answer, but you might as well test it out, get more information, and then make another decision accordingly. All within the bounds of consent, obviously.
What's become clear to me is that in order to deal with hurt, I tend to use provocation as a coping mechanism. And even though I felt empowered for a matter of hours on New Year's Eve, the hurt remained. If the provocateur inside of me is irrefutable, maybe I should work on provoking myself to complete my projects and be the person that people call when they have a revelation. The larger question that remains is this: how does one successfully move on, especially given our current circumstances?
My New Year's resolution to be on time has been going extraordinarily. Actually, I just have nowhere to be amidst this pandemic, so I am everywhere 100% on time.
With regards to crippling self-doubt and living with reckless abandon, the latter has been postponed and the former is very much still in business. Quarantine has been highly conducive to staying in touch with people, and I'll say it, I may be a proponent of Zoom bangers after this is over. They're weirdly so intimate. If you're wondering if you should pick up that phone and dial, do it.
It kind of blew my mind.
Doing It Wrong is made by Darcy Newwriter and Rainey Toll. Our executive producers are Toll, Rainey, and Newwriter, Darcy.
Our technical directors are Rain Woman, Not Rain Man Toll, and Darcy Haagen-Dazs Nucleotide.
Our sound engineers are Taney Roll and Narcy Dewriter.
Love them. Special thanks to our writers, Darce, new at writing new writer, and Rainey has written some essays before Toll.
And our editors, D. Newwriter at kentdenver.org and Rainey Toll at scienceandtech.org, who have put in many hours into this production.
We source our contemporary philosophy from Darcy D. Sorrento Nucleotide and Rainito, descendant of the Toll family that owns Toll and Toll.
Our intern is May Toll.
And we receive begrudged, second-rate freelance creative consulting from Luke Newwriter.
Our custodians are Raindog Let's Get Through This Fog and D. Nunu 22 This Is Not About You.
Please reach out to our large team if you're interested in contributing or being a guest on our show. Every inquiry must begin with to whomst it may concern, or it won't be processed.
Our outreach managers and also our contact emails are darcynewwriter@gmail.com and raineytoll@hotmail.com.
Our cover art is by Maddie Haynes.
Check her out at maddiehaines.com.
Peace and blessings. Please check our next episode and text your friend this episode link right now.
Thanks again for listening to Comedy by Indie Drop-In. If you would like your show featured, reach out to us at Indie Drop-In on all social media or go to indiedropin.com. See you next time.